Now is the time to lock in. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Anisha, and for today's video, if you've already read the title, January was bleh, and I really want to not waste any more time because I'm feeling a little better, and I'm gonna probably try to figure out how to have a better routine. So first I'm gonna, because it's a real talk day, I want to sort of just sit down and talk with you guys. Okay, so first things first, I say January was bleh because this year I got injured in December and when I started January, I'm a morning person. I mean, I trained myself to be a morning person last year, and all of that is sort of like dependent on like one thing every day, and that one thing is me being able to work out, because if I don't work out I can't like sleep on time at night, and sort of ruins my entire cycle. Or I don't mean like actual exercise every day. And if I go for like a 30-minute walk is what I used to do on days I didn't feel like doing anything, and well, all that went to whoop, and I was like, okay, my sleep cycle is getting slowly very bad. Like, at least in between I really tried waking up early, but what would happen is that I wouldn't fall asleep early, because I wouldn't do anything through the entire day. I was just in bed all day, and because of that I started waking up early, and now like I wake up every day almost at like 9:30, 10. Today I woke up at 10:30, and I hate it because I feel like a lot of my day is gone, even though it's not. But I feel like I was just a lot more like happier, like lot happier, not more happier. Anisha, English. Okay, I was happier when I used to wake up early. Feel like there are certain aspects that okay, I can still get through like my one task a day and not get overwhelmed, but there's just so much to do. I used to be the kind of person who used to say that, I'm just going to remember that I have to do something. And well, it turns out I'm not. I'm getting old, and there's so many things to do every single day. It's no more just school or just college, where even in college, like I saw the intensity of things increasing, but still it was mostly like, you know what, I know it, I know I have to do this, I just remember it and I would finish it. And there was no like calendar where I had to set up a due date and things like that. But after like starting to work and also like these other things in my life, like for example, I want to finish my decoration of my room, or I want to get new wallpaper, or I need to get to run some errands, like maybe parcel something. I don't even know. There's just so many things to do. Somehow, I don't know how this happened, but it happened. And then I was like, okay, fine, let me start using a daily planner. So last year I got a daily planner, and I was sticking by it pretty well. And also, if you don't know, like last year as well, what happened is that in January I got typhoid. Well, it kind of sucks, right? Anyways, whatever it was, I felt that you start year with like a lot of energy, and if that energy sort of dies out because of like you're physically or mentally not keeping very well, and you're just unable to do a lot of things, it doesn't help. So then I thought, okay, fine, then I'm gonna start. I was very determined from Feb that I have to like get my together, and then I did that. I started using, basically got into this routine of like certain habits that I have to do every single day. Of course, I was using a habit tracker from the year before that because I read this book called Atomic Habits. You should read it if you haven't read it already. So there's this one thing with the which the book starts, like aggregation of like marginal gains. Like if you're doing something 1% better every day, by the end of a certain period of time, you will realize that you have progressed a lot. In the moment, you might feel like, hey, nothing's like really like I'm not progressing. That was something. And then not having like a goal based identity, or not having like if I finish this goal I'm going to do this. Of course, having goals is important, but certain habits that you want to imbibe in yourself, all those habits need to sort of come from a self place of identity. Like you identify as someone who wakes up early every day. You are a early riser. You don't say that I want to wake up early every day, this is my goal. No, you start identifying as that, or you visualize yourself as that person who wakes up early every day, and that sort of becomes a part of your identity, and that helps you sort of stick to habits. And I think I really really believe in that, and I imbibed that. And then when January happened last year, all of that again boop went down. And I started again using a habit tracker. Once I got my life back on track, I started using a daily planner. And I did this challenge called 75 soft. All that details are on my Instagram page, actually, if you want to follow it. I tracked 75 soft. There were like a couple of things that I wanted to do every single day, like 10,000 steps. I have to like move every day. I didn't have to like exercise anything. 10,000 steps is the goal. That's it. Stretch every day, drink enough water every day, read 10 pages of some book every day. I that time I was reading a lot of non-fiction, so non-fiction. And essentially a couple of other things were there as a part of it, like eating healthy. And it was not like a rigid 70, like I didn't want to do a 75 hard because it's so rigid. And I feel like for the kind of lifestyle that I lead, where sometimes, I can't do everything every day, I did not want to put that sort of pressure on myself, and that really really helped. Now coming this year again, I was in a routine. I was following everything. I was fine. And this again happened, and sort of all that routine went zoop. And I just needed to get my life back together. And now I really need to. So now is the time to lock in. If you're watching this video and you feel like your January has also been bleh, this is the place where you come, and I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna fix it. And if that helps you in any way, please do it. Okay, first things first. Habit tracker. Now, a habit tracker doesn't have to be fancy, nothing. You can have a basic notebook, or even if you are someone who likes working on your laptop, like I do sometimes, like I'm mostly on my laptop. So I use Notion. I use a habit tracker on Notion. You have multiple templates. I will link a few down, which I think are very nice. I link the one that I use, and I think that's very useful. Now, habit trackers are only needed if you're trying to build a new habit. Once your habit is built, for example, for me, certain habits, like for example, drinking 3 liters of water every day, I started that in my habit tracker in 2023. And now I don't keep it as a part of my habit tracker because it's become like I'm used to it. I do it regardless. I don't have to like think twice about it, or I don't have to force myself to do it. So like put things that you really, really want to build as a part of like say the next 6 months. And that 21-day habit thing, I don't believe in it. 21 days is not enough to build a habit. Give it time, give it a couple of months, and then only can you like truly surely say that it's a habit. Second thing that I wanted to do is I have gone through so many like to do list apps in my life. Like I have used reminders, Google Tasks, recurring tasks on calendar, and so many things. But I feel like nothing like is really nice. I started using this app called Structured recently, but the problem with that is like I have to copy tasks every day, and I didn't want something like a daily timetable. I wanted I have like say 3 projects that I'm working on, and I want those 3 projects to be separated out from each other with each like due dates, and I still want some recurring tasks available. So I thought, okay, I went in this rabbit hole of Reddit, and I saw that I can use this app called Todoist or TickTick. So I actually got TickTick. I'm gonna see how that works. The other thing that is very important for I think me now going ahead to like get locked in 2025, and I hope I do, is waking up early. I started the video with this, and I'm gonna also add this here. Waking up early is very, very important because I think that I am not productive at night because I'm so tired, and I end up just staying awake, and I'm just passively doing I'm just passive at that point. I don't want to do anything, so I just lay in bed. I hate scrolling on my phone, so I have sort of like really, really restricted myself from doing that. But I stopped scrolling on shorts. I go on Instagram still, but I don't scroll on the reels. Whatever's on my homepage, like for the people I follow and stuff, those reels are there, but I don't click on it, so it doesn't push me to like scroll it. Does that make sense? So yeah, I essentially stopped scrolling on short form content, which is also one of the reasons I stopped making short form content. I'm gonna get to that later. Okay, and I think that's mainly it. Waking up early now is followed by like sitting down in the sun. Now earlier when I was able to walk, go out and stuff, I used to go out for a walk in the sun. So when I used to go to the gym, I used to either cycle or I used to walk. So, I would get that morning sun. It was really nice. So now I feel like I want that still. So I'm going to try my best to wake up early and just sit in front of my window and just soak the sun in. And I think that just sets the tone for the day. It's very, very important. Okay. The next thing to like lock in 2025, I think something that I'm going to take from the book I read, Atomic Habits, 2 years ago. And like I keep going back to these notes every single time, every time I feel that I'm losing track. If anyone wants this, like let me know, I'll actually share it. These are like some of the notes that I made. I haven't like put it in a nice format, so I can do that if you really want it as a part of my next newsletter. Let me know. Anyway, so one thing was that focusing on like systems. So there are certain systems that I have built over the past 2 years. I want to sustain those, and I want to build some new systems to be able to get more out of my day, because life keeps changing at every moment and change is the only constant, as we all know. But something that helps you sort of stay in place. Now, it's okay to have like one bad month, couple of bad weeks, couple of bad months, because you need time. Like I took that time for myself. My entirety of December, January, I was taking that time because I was unable to do anything, and the sudden life shift is very hard. Like it was a huge change for me, and I'm slowly coming in terms with it, and I'm trying to figure out what can I do better. So I think one thing that really helps me with that, whenever you're setting a goal for the next couple of months, try to also make another column on the side of it to say, what am I going to do? Like a step by step, literal step by step process of what am I going to do to achieve this. Okay, your goal can be something like, hey, I want to become fit this year, or I want to be able to run like 3 miles without gasping. What am I going to do to achieve it? There's a lot of things. Like for example, you need to start strength training more. You need to build up to that particular run. Start walking first. I told you, like, you need to have like a system built. Another thing is that I've realized is very important is I'm not a I'm a very visual person. But I don't like making like vision boards as much. I am the person who sits and write about like what I maybe want or how I'm feeling and things like that. This is a habit I developed last year, especially like after therapy, that I realized that I need to verbalize my feelings and emotions better, and that sort of helped me find that one thing that you can do to sort of visualize or understand yourself better. And it can be making a vision board, it can be clicking pictures, it can be writing, it can be reading, whatever it is. Reading, of course, gives you new ideas, but whatever you're feeling at that point, I feel like writing or even just making like a voice note, talk to yourself. That's also really helpful. So I think that helps you sort of keep yourself grounded, and you can like bounce back. And I think coming back to my previous point of like screen time. Now a lot of my work, and I'm assuming most of people's work today, entails around like working around a screen, like all the time. Like you're in front of a screen taking calls, you're in front of a screen doing your work, you're probably watching something on your laptop or your TV. You're constantly in front of a screen, so it gets very hard. Like even the time that you spend with like your loved ones is in front of a screen, like you're sitting and watching of course it's leisure time, but I feel like reducing screen time personally for me, like from last year especially, whenever we used to call our friends home, we used to have board game nights, or I basically ensured in a way that reduce screen time as much as just sit and talk. That's it. And don't be on your phones. Don't like, of course moments have to be captured, but you don't have to be on your phones and instantly post about it, or you don't have to like sit and watch reels all the time. Like, you anyways do that. You're anyways sending reels to your best friend on Instagram, and you both have a giggle about it. So when you're meeting in person, like, try not to do that. And I think that's made like a big difference. So if you're someone whose most of the work entails around working around a screen, try to do something which is away from a screen. Like, even if it's just sitting in solitude, just do that. Give that rest for your eyes. And it's not because of like better sleep, nothing. It's just, I personally feel like when you sit with your own thoughts alone, you understand a lot more about yourself, and just work all the time in front of a screen can sort of block that, I feel. And I may be wrong, I may be right, I don't know. So this is something that I'm going to do. I think a couple of the last few things that I think, apart from like all of these, like, productivity hacks, blah blah blah, I'm gonna go back to my blog that I wrote. The first blog of this year was, life is not an optimization problem. Don't try to make every day like 100% perfect. You are going to then crush yourself under the pressure of making that day perfect. So I think what I'm trying to say through this entire video is like, build couple of things and don't try to do everything every day. Like, make the goal for your next couple of months, that for me at least would be for February, March, is that I want to start waking up early again. I need to build that. So that will be a part of my habit now. And I am not going to bash myself or like tell myself that I didn't do this today. Like, today I woke up at 10 a.m. Oh my god, like, life has changed. No, it has not. Nothing has changed. You are just going to get up, take that day, it's okay. You can still do a few things that day that you intended to do. So all I'm trying to say is that take that day, it's okay. So if your goal is something similar, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Like, कोई फायदा नहीं इतना pressure डाल के खुद के ऊपर. Like, you will only like hate yourself after that. And the point of like locking in is not to like be productive or like be that like, I don't know, I don't want to like glorify like, grinding. None of that. I want you to essentially embrace a day and be present. And I think being present is the most important. So what I was getting to is that even if one day you don't tick off a certain things, just be present that day. That's all. That should be like your underlying goal amongst everything this year. That just be there in the moment. Don't worry ki whatever happens, it happens. It's okay. A lot of things happen in life. As I already said, change is the only constant. So I'm saying all these things, but you can have your low days. I have my days where I'm extremely low and I feel like everything's going wrong. And it's okay. Take that day. Everyone's supposed to have those days. So just don't worry about it too much. Like, take that day for yourself, cry it out, do whatever it is that makes you happy. I sometimes go and eat spicy noodles because I'm like, it makes me feel really good. So if you are someone who feels like, figure that one thing out that you can do to like snap back and take that, just don't worry. The last two things that are extremely important, and it's important, I have realized as I'm growing older, is that spend time with your friends and family. In my school days and in my college days, it was very easy because I used to go to college every day, meet my friends every day, and it was just like, you don't appreciate it in that moment that you get to do it every single day. And the same way, like in my house, like I would come back home. I was a day scholar and I did move out for a while, but even then, like every time I would come back home, I'd spend a lot of time with my family. Like, it was not that I didn't have to think about it explicitly, but I think when I started working, and especially like once it picked up, a lot of things like dynamics changed, because even my friends are working, they've moved cities, maybe they've gone out to study or they've gone to another city to work, and whenever they come back, make that time for them, or whenever you go there, make that time, and make that time with your family as well. It doesn't have to be every single day. Every single day, at least talk to them a little bit, but take out that time once, like a weekend, go out with them, go for a nice lunch, and that time is not time wasted. So I think the last and the most important thing that is also very important is gratitude. Every single day when you wake up, as I said, if you're someone like me who wants to sit in the sun, sit and write something that you're grateful for that day. I think when you put out in the world that you are grateful for some things, um, you yourself will feel a lot more fulfilled in life. And I have realized that now. I used to not do it. I'm gonna be very honest. Every time something went wrong in my life, last year, even in this year, I was just like, क्यों हो रहा है मेरे साथ ये? Like, मेरी life ही क्यों खराब है? And then I'm like, it's not bad. It's not that bad. When you think about it in perspective, like, I can still do so many things. I'm sitting down here and talking to you guys. I can talk. I can breathe. I can still work. I can still read. I have all these abilities that I have my family around me. I'm able to do like my daily activities still. Maybe they're a little constrained and my life moves in slow motion, but it's okay. And for my mind to get to that point to say it's okay, took a lot of me sitting down every day and writing. I am grateful for this XYZ thing. And there are still days post doing all of that I feel like everything in my life is going wrong and I'm so upset and down. But the next day when I come back, I will sit down and write it because I think that's very important. So if you also have someone like me who faces certain problems like this, I think gratitude, just sitting down and writing what you're thankful for in that very day, is so important. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and it's never too late to lock in, okay? So remember that. One more thing, that I have gone into a rabbit hole of YouTube videos now because my entire algorithm just changed the moment I posted my first video. Is a new challenge called 75 challenge, but that's posting 75 days on YouTube. Now I can't do that because it's very hard, but essentially, like, I'm gonna try my best to post like every week or every other week, so look out. And if you have any more ideas, please let me know. And that's it for today's video. Thank you, and see you in the next one. Bye.